These are Americans. More than 190 million of them. A people whose story is one of movement and change. A record of migration that is unique in history. Came to Massachusetts to practice freedom of worship. Others from England, from the Netherlands, from France, and from Spain founded settlements of their own, hoping to find in the New World opportunities which the Old World had denied them. The journey was hard. 1 out of 3 died on the way. Of those who survived, more than half entered their new country under some form of servitude, up to 7 years of forced labor in exchange for their ocean passage. There were others whose servitude had no end. Year after year they came, the slave and the free, educated and ignorant, radical and conservative. Some with money and some from debtors' prisons, all rich with memories, all eager to build anew. Political independence was the first step. They still had to cross the wide continent, to people the empty land and make it their own. As the people grew desperate under the pressures of social and industrial revolutions, there seemed to be only one refuge: the New World. Within 100 years, more than 40 million human beings crossed the seas to America. They came in waves. First, the Irish, 4.25 million in all. They built our first chain of canals, railroads, the cities of the Middle West. Between 1830 and 1840, the population of Illinois trebled, and Chicago multiplied 8 times as westward moving Americans joined the new wave of immigrants from the Old World. Western Europe came the English, Scottish, and Welsh, Scandinavians, Germans, Austrians, and Swiss. 15 million of them, bringing with them their skills, their education, and their ways of life. They helped to create something never seen before, an open society so fluid and so dynamic that those who arrived entered at a status equal to those who were already there. In the 30 years following the Civil War, over 100,000 miles of railroad track were laid, mostly by immigrants. land was open from coast to coast, ready to receive the millions already on their way. Men and women of many races and creeds, Protestants, Catholics, and Jews. From Southern Europe came the Italians, 6 million. From Central and Eastern Europe, the Poles, Romanians, Lithuanians, Hungarians, Slovaks, Bohemians, 8 million. From the Balkans and the Middle East, 3 million more, Greeks, Macedonians, Croatians, Albanians, Armenians, and Syrians, came to work in this new land, to which a $12 steerage ticket gave them entry. As workers and consumers, they flowed over the continent, and each new pair of hands increased our abundance. By the beginning of the 20th century, immigrants were entering the country at the rate of 1 million a year. Of these latecomers, many lacked the means to make their way beyond the ports of arrival. Crowded in the cities of the coast, suspended between the past and the future, bewildered, exploited, they found it difficult to accept the shifting forms they were expected to follow. Yet for them too, in time, the promises of America were fulfilled. They watched with wonder as their children grew with the country, moving forward in the free and open society they themselves had helped to create. In times of crisis, our doors are still open. Victims of tyranny and oppression the world over find refuge among us. We are today the most powerful nation on earth. Yet the challenges we face are more urgent than any we have met in the past. Power alone will not solve them. Power cannot tell us what to value, where to place our trust, how to share. There is no better place for Americans to find their answers than in the heritage of our own unsettled and adventurous past. It is for us today to extend the achievements of the immigrants whose descendants we are, to continue their long struggle for dignity and freedom in a world they could only dream of.